Todd. Thank you, Robert. Patty Ann. I know. I don't want to knock my teleprompter over. Then I'll have to memorize my speech.
Senator, welcome to the joint session.
Thank you.
We look forward to your speech. Thank you. The session is at ease while we listen to the governor.
Don't get too at ease. All right. Mr. Speaker, Pro Tem, Madam President, honored legislators, my fellow constitutional officers, Mr. Chief Justice, members of the judiciary, my family, friends, and my fellow Idahoans. It's good to deliver this speech back in the chambers. Last year, I closed my State of the State by saying, in times of hardship, opportunities for growth emerges. There's no doubt the past couple of years have presented incredible challenges. Our frontline workers in healthcare, public safety, and education in particular have done an exceptional job. Today, we have a few of those pandemic heroes with us. They are nurses, doctors, police officers, guardsmen, and teachers. I would like to invite them to stand, and please, everyone please join me and recognize them and their colleagues and thanking them for their service to our great state. My friends, I stand before you today with great optimism and excitement about the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity before us. Idaho's economy is stronger than ever before. We're one of only 4 states with more jobs today than before the pandemic. Idahoans are working. We have one of the lowest unemployment rates in the country. Our budget is balanced. We have robust reserves. Idaho businesses and citizens benefit from living and working in the least regulated state in the nation. We've turned more money back to the citizens through historic tax relief and strategic investments in areas that impact their daily lives. And for the second year in a row, we have another record budget surplus. All of this success has made Idaho even more desirable place to live. We are all experiencing the opportunities and the challenges of growth. As I've traveled the state, Idahoans often remind me of a task left undone: building a wall around Idaho and making California pay for it. Our friends, our success is no accident. While other states liquidated their rainy day funds and begged politicians in Washington, D.C. for a bailout, together we rolled up our sleeves and made tough decisions and led Idaho. In Idaho, we manage government the same way families manage a household budget. It's basic kitchen table economics. It means facing trade-offs head on, choosing to live within our means, saving for hard times, cutting waste, and stretching our dollars further. While D.C. is digging the country into a $29 trillion hole, Idaho has a record surplus of $1.9 billion in counting. While D.C. continues to crank out onerous new regulations, we took an axe to Idaho regulations for 3 straight years, and we continue to widen our lead as the least regulated state in the nation. In fact, since I took office 3 years ago, we have cut or simplified 95% of Idaho regulations. And now, through our zero-based regulation initiative, this year, we aim to cut or simplify another 20% of what remains, removing the rocks from the shoes of small businesses. While D.C. wants to raise taxes on all citizens, as Biden inflation surges, Idaho has put more money back into people's pockets. Last year together, we cut income taxes and returned $450 million to all Idaho citizens and businesses. It was called the biggest tax cut in state history, but I call it a good start. While President Biden divides Americans in his attempts to elevate the role of government in citizens' lives, coercing Americans with government-imposed vaccine mandates, Idaho said no. Our lawsuits challenging Biden's polarizing vaccine mandates are working. I banned divisive vaccine passports. I never mandated masks or vaccines. We responded to a crisis with a balanced approach and kept Idaho open. And while President Biden continues to dismiss the catastrophe at the U.S.-Mexico border, Idaho is banding together with other states to act. I traveled to the border last summer where I saw for myself how Mexican drug cartels control access to our country, all because of President Biden's flawed border policies. This is completely unacceptable. Biden's inaction has spawned a growing drug threat to our state, and the vast majority of illicit drugs in Idaho are now sourced in Mexico. Idaho families deserve better. Last summer, I sent a specialized team of the Idaho State Troopers to Arizona to help fight the drug flow into our country and our state. We sent our best to protect Americans and Idahoans from drug cartels, and those troopers returned with new knowledge and training to help law enforcement here at home fight the drugs that have devastated so many lives. We have some of those troopers here with us today. Gentlemen, please stand so we can recognize you. And now, I'm asking for your support to deploy Operation Esto Perpetua. I'll have more to share in the coming weeks, but Operation Esto Perpetua will bring together law enforcement and communities in new ways. We will continue to fight the consequences of our loose border and curb the smuggling of killer drugs, such as fentanyl, into our state from Mexico. Folks, we've been able to set the example of accountable, responsible government here in Idaho. My family and Teresa's have been in Idaho for generations. We want nothing more than for our grandchildren, Henry, Dylan, Jack, Lola, Jay, and Josephine, to stay settled in Idaho and enjoy their grandchildren here. Kids, can you wave for me? Teresa and I want the same for your grandchildren too. By now you know my goal, for Idaho to be a place where we all have the opportunity to thrive and where our children and grandchildren choose to stay, and for the ones that left to choose to return. Think about someone you know who's demonstrated true leadership. For me, my father David Little, Teresa's father Phil Solon, and an old friend Louise Shattuck come to mind. Here's what I've learned from them. Leaders give people confidence and show the way through humble strength. Leaders go through life with a spirit of service. Leaders listen. The voice of a leader is effective, not just loud. Every day I endeavor to live up to the example of my mentors. That is what the people of Idaho deserve from their governor, and that is what they deserve from all who are elected to public office. I have a plan for Idaho, a path to give back our record budget surplus to Idahoans through continued tax relief and strategic investments where they make the biggest difference in their daily lives. My plan is called Leading Idaho. My plan is rooted in a long-standing conservative principle, fiscal discipline. For the first time in state history, Idaho was upgraded to a AAA credit rating. It is an achievement that will save taxpayer dollars and, importantly, reflects our dedication to conservative, responsible budgeting. Earlier today, I delivered a budget that is balanced and holds the line on spending. My budget pays off state building debt, saving taxpayers tens of millions of dollars in interest payment. My budget puts us on a path to pay off all known deferred maintenance needs, those backlog repairs needed in our infrastructure over the next 10 years. And my budget bolsters rainy day funds to a record level, putting them at more than $1 billion in the bank to guard against future downturns. We must be even more vigilant in perceived times of plenty to make decisions that are prudent and withstand the test of time. We did not spend our way to a surplus, and budget surplus must never become an excuse for wasteful spending. There's no better feeling than giving back to hardworking Idahoans more of what they've earned. To date, in my first term, we have cut nearly $1 billion in taxes. Let me repeat that. Together, we have given back nearly $1 billion to Idahoans through income tax relief, property tax relief, and relief from unemployment taxes on Idaho businesses. And today, I am proposing we double down on our efforts. I propose we return more than $1 billion in income tax relief to Idaho taxpayers over the next 5 years. Let's not wait. Right now, Idaho families are forced to pay more for food, gas, and everyday goods as inflation swells under Biden's watch. Poor handling of the economy, oppressive regulations, and a bloated federal budget have all contributed to inflation rates we have not seen for 40 years. With Biden inflation exploding, let's immediately pass $600 million in income tax relief that we can get back into the wallets of all Idahoans this spring. I propose $350 million in immediate rebates and $250 million in ongoing income tax relief, allowing working families to keep more of what they earn and free them from the penalty of living under historic inflation. We cannot delay in deploying this investment in working families. We must also support Idaho's small businesses, the backbone of our economy. Last year, we strengthened our unemployment trust fund, making it one of the most solvent funds in the country. Doing so led to a $200 million tax cut for Idaho businesses. I propose we lock in those lower rates for the next 2 years, saving Idaho businesses $64 million so they can continue creating good Idaho jobs. Some say we shouldn't cut taxes, that we have to choose between cutting taxes and meeting the important needs of our state. This is false. My budget shows we can do both. We can spend less than we bring in, offer tax relief, and fund the top priorities, education and infrastructure. More than 130 years ago, the founders of our state, in writing the Idaho Constitution, recognized the stability and endurance of our Republican form of government depends mainly on, quote, the intelligence of the people. A person's education starts at home. Parents are in the driver's seat, as they should be, and always will be in Idaho. Children today will become the workforce of tomorrow. They'll be the engineers, loggers, doctors, farmers, construction workers, entrepreneurs, teachers, truckers, you name it. We want our Idaho students to receive a strong foundation of learning now so they can stay here and make our state strong for future generations. And Idaho schools partner with parents in the education of their children. That's why I propose making the largest investment in Idaho education ever. My budget adds $1.1 billion over the next 5 years to improve Idaho education. And it all starts with literacy. Today, I propose adding $47 million in ongoing funding to literacy programs to build on the reading success that parents instill at home. Local school districts across Idaho, with input from families, will decide how best to deploy the resources. Literacy has been my top priority because it just makes sense. Our investments in education later on will have more impact if we can work with families to get more students reading proficiently early on. Adding these investments now will increase state literacy funding fivefold since I took office just 3 years ago. I cannot think of a more back-to-basics investment that will make a meaningful difference in students' lives today and for years to come. The key to strong schools is parental involvement. Our system of public education in Idaho is locally driven, and the system works best when parents and families engage. Parents partner with teachers in the education of their children, and we cannot meet our commitment to our students without the support of the people that teach them in the classroom. If you're running a business, you know you can only attract and retain dedicated quality workers by paying them competitively, offering good benefits, and making them feel valued. Our educator workforce is no different. And my budget invests in these partners, our teachers, which ultimately serves Idaho families. The pandemic pushed many parents toward new ways of meeting the educational needs of their children. Last year, we served 18,000 Idaho families, 46,000 students with grants to help cover educational needs outside of the classroom. And now, to build on our success, I'm proposing $50 million for the new Empowering Parents grants. The grants will cover such things as computers, tutoring, internet connectivity, and other needs, so students have the best chance of success. The Empowering Parents grants put families in control of their child's education, as it should be. My Leading Idaho plan also makes other key investments to support law enforcement, our veterans, our valued members of the Idaho National Guard, and safe and secure elections. I want to add $60 million to address the needs within the Idaho State Police. Idaho is a state that openly values its police officers. While others seek to defund the police, Idaho defends the police. Idaho is truly a state that backs the blue. I also propose we make the biggest investment ever in our state veterans homes, $75 million to give our veterans a better quality of life and improve the services for them. Our veterans have done so much for us, and they deserve it. I also want to invest in the soldiers and the airmen and the Idaho National Guard. My plan doubles our investment in scholarships to guardsmen, which boosts our effort to get more Idahoans to sign up for the Guard. Military service has always been and always will be one of the most honorable ways for a person to serve their community, state, and country. I'm so grateful to our guardsmen and all military and service members and veterans for all they have done and continue to do to promote freedom and peace in our country. I would like to invite anyone in the room here today who has served in the military to please stand so we can recognize and thank you for your service. We can honor the service of our military heroes by doing our part to make America as strong as possible. And we all know free and fair elections are a cornerstone of our democracy. We're very fortunate to live in Idaho where our elections are free of fraud. But there's more we can do to elevate Idahoans' trust in their elections. Last year, I established my cybersecurity task force to come up with new ways to protect Idaho from cyber attacks and bolster election integrity. My Leading Idaho plan implements recommendations from the task force. I am proposing $12 million to establish the new Cyber Response and Defense Fund to ensure the state is prepared to respond to any cyber attack from bad actors in China, Russia, or elsewhere. I'm also pushing for proactive integrity audits to enhance the transparency and confidence of our elections here in Idaho. We must make election integrity a priority to give our citizens confidence that their vote matters. Idaho has a strong track record of giving back through tax relief and by making significant investments in the areas that impact Idahoans' daily lives the most. Things like clean and plentiful water for a strong agricultural sector, improved broadband access, increased medical capacity to support a healthy Idaho and our healthcare heroes, better access to outdoor recreation and improved land and fire management, and better opportunities through investments in career technical education, colleges, workforce development, housing, and childcare. The list goes on and on. My Leading Idaho plan will continue to invest in all these important areas and many others. Protecting Idahoans of all ages from the affliction of mental illness and addiction led to the creation of the three-branch Behavioral Health Council in 2020. It was a step that is now helping Idaho families access the services they need when they need it most. Behavioral health issues affect Idaho's corrections system, judicial system, hospitals, local communities, and schools. Today, we're joined by Krista Knighting, the brave teacher who confronted and disarmed a 12-year-old girl at school last May in Rigby. Krista calmly took the gun away from the little girl in crisis and then held her in her arms until the police arrived. Krista, please stand so we can recognize you. As I know Krista can attest, there's a strong connection between safe communities and access to behavioral health resources for Idahoans of all ages. Today, I am proposing we accelerate the implementation of the Behavioral Health Council's recommendations by investing $50 million to improve behavioral health access across Idaho. It is one of many steps we will take to prevent tragedy, improve lives, and make our communities safer. Another area where we're making real progress to improve safety is the time Idahoans spend on the road. Last year together, we passed the largest transportation funding package in state history. Our sustainable transportation funding solution added historic amounts to new infrastructure to improve safety and ease congestion, giving all Idahoans more precious time with their families. And we did it without raising taxes. But we cannot stop there. The continued prosperity of our farmers, ranchers, the folks who work in the woods depends on safe, efficient system of roads and bridges. We cannot continue our record economic trajectory if our logging trucks can't get across old bridges, if we can't get our farm products to market. My budget invests another $200 million in ongoing funding to fully address our known maintenance needs locally and statewide. I also propose we invest another $200 million in one-time funding to clear out 1/3 of the backlog of deficient bridges. We have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to fully fund known needs, to maintain our roads and bridges permanently with no new taxes. I am unwilling to put the safety of all our Idahoans, the maintenance of our state roads and bridges, at the whims of the feds. We must not look to Washington, D.C. to solve our problems. Leading Idaho means addressing our own state needs. Together, we'll show Washington, D.C. how to tackle transportation by fully funding known gaps with no new taxes and providing long-term funding for long-term needs. Ladies and gentlemen, the challenges of the past 2 years for many, including myself, have driven us to more fervent prayer and frequent prayer and a closer relationship with our Creator. Out of the hardships, we have strengthened. We've kept things headed in the right direction. We won't spoil the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity before us to give people back their hard-earned dollars through tax relief and make historic investments where they matter the most. We will stay focused on leading Idaho. I want to thank my family for their unwavering support. Family is the nucleus of all that is important in life. To our First Lady, her good heart is a source of strength and peace for our family and the entire state. Teresa, thank you, and I love you. And I want to thank you, the people of Idaho, for Idaho's success. You have proven you will always stand up for the strength and prosperity of our great state. Thank you, and God bless. Get these microphones.
Governor Little, thank you for those remarks. We look forward to working with you to accomplish the list. And because we do have a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity here and let's not spoil it. Could the committee please come forward to escort the governor from the House, or from the joint session, please? While they're coming up. Thanks, buddy.